You recorded, I saw somewhere at Sheryl Crow's, who's my neighbor. She's
Oh,
kind of
really?
right across Hillsborough Road from
Yes.
me, almost. Yeah,
And her Longhorns
yeah,
out there.
yeah. Her buddy who gets her Longhorns actually drove trucks for me for a lot of years. He drove a race car truck when we had race
Nice.
cars on the road. Yeah, but but I love Cheryl and I love her place. If you got to work there, that's just too much fun.
It's yeah, I mean it's really serene. There's like an old church on the property that's like been converted and yeah, I mean, I love horses and her recording situation's basically heaven for me because it's a stable on the bottom floor, beautiful horses and 50 acres or so and then above the stable is her recording studio. So it was like, wow.
And
It's like best of both worlds.
she also, one of the coolest things about all that, which I expected you to mention, I wasn't going to butt in, but her bar, behind her bar, you can open
Oh,
the
that's
door and
right.
a horse will stick his head
Yes.
through there. Which,
Yeah, that was like some Brian Wilson shit. I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening right here? Like, yeah, there's like a little secret door and you open it up just right there in the bar. You can pour yourself some Guinness on tap and then the horse sticks his head out and yeah, it was amazing.
So it's interesting you talk some about how, think you've been necessarily politically motivated, but I feel like you've been very socially motivated in the past. And but you got married and you found love.
Yeah.
And now you've kind of stretched your arms a little bit and go, okay, I'm actually kind of feeling this.
Yeah.
Let's see if
Totally.
we can make it rhyme a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Did it cause you to get away from one and go for the other, or do you just chasing your heart right now?
Get away from what do you
Get
mean?
away from more just
Just like social
yeah,
commentary.
right?
Yeah. Well, I really just kind of thought that this time frame that we're in right now is just so inflamed, and like, I mean, it just seems like everywhere you turn, there's a soapbox, there's an opinion, and while I think that that's great, and there's been a lot of movements that have been positive and strong and awesome. I think a lot of people are waking up in a lot of ways, but I kind of feel like the last thing that we need is another opinion, and I've done that before with Arrow or Mary or I just thought like I'm in this beautiful time in my life. This person has come in and just kind of changed the game for me and opened my mind, and I just felt more inspired to go to that than to be at another social opinion flying around. I just think we're all just kind of craving a little bit of truth and a little bit of beauty. And I mean, we're just so inundated by the news and you just forget about all the beautiful things and the people that are around that make it such a beautiful place. And like, I just got tired of that and I didn't want to add to it anymore.
Is it hard? Is it harder to be clever about love than it is about whatever nonsense is going on?
Maybe a
in
little
the world?
bit because there's so many relationship songs out there. I mean, as you know, and it's like, it's all been said. So you got to kind of figure out a way to say it a little bit different. But I've never gravitated towards relationship songs. Like I've never really had any. I've always been one to like write about other things or have other kinds of songs. But now that I'm actually like happy and like I have that in my life, it kind of came natural to me to explore, I guess. But I did want to make a well-rounded album. I didn't want it to be like, okay, damn, we get it. You got married. Like, here's 14 boring-ass love songs.
Okay, so I'll do this 1.5 minute one about my mom.
So there's that, and then we got High Horse, Rainbow.
It's a pretty video, too, by the way.
Thanks.
I'm assuming that is your mother in the video. Karen,
old Care Bear. She came down, and we filmed that in this big, beautiful house on, where is that? It's in West Nashville. Hillwood.
Could be.
I don't know.
Anyways, a lot of
Anyways,
pretty big houses in Hillwood.
so beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
What's the best part about being married?
I mean, just really having like a teammate. Just really feeling like you have a teammate that will go with you through anything. A best friend. I mean, it's different, obviously, than the feeling that you get. You can feel solid as like a boyfriend or girlfriend, or whatever. But when you really like make that commitment, and I have to say that like I never really pictured myself as being like a super married, like into that. But I come from a long line of people who are very happily married. My parents are still together, my grandparents, They got together in 2nd and 3rd grade. They're 80 now. They're still happily married. My sister and her husband. And I was always thinking, like,
Kind
maybe
of a
I'm just
Texas
the black.
thing.
Yeah. But I was like, maybe I'm the black sheep. Like, it's not really for me. I don't really get it. I just wasn't finding the right people to click with. But I'm that person who would, like, stay too long and just, like, try to make it work and waste my time. But no, it just feels solid. It feels like we got this. We can do anything. We support each other. And we can relate a lot to each other because he writes songs and is an artist as well. And, like, you know, though that has its challenges, it really brings us closer together because we just really understand each other.
I never thought I'd get married. I never thought I'd have kids. You know, all my friends say, man, you'll be the last one to go if it ever happens. I'm like, I don't have any reason to get married. You know?
Yeah.
And I always like my gypsy cred too.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but then you find the right person and it changes your mind, right?
Absolutely.
And same thing about kids.
I've been married 36 years now.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm the only
Congrats.
bud that's still got all this stuff.
I mean, you have to work at it, but what do you not have to work at
Yes.
that ends up being worth it in the end? And, like, with kids and everything, I mean, it's kind of the same with you. You never thought, like, you really, like, super wanted kids, and then you found the person, and now you're like, wait, a me plus a you? Like, this is cool. Like, this could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I still wasn't. And that's where I think women are a lot better at that too, because Barb's like, hey, my clock's ticking over here. Okay, you know, if we're going to
Like,
do this,
Yeah.
she goes, let's go. I'm like,
Well, totally.
okay.
I mean, I think you can just overthink it. 'Cause
I'd have never done. Okay, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes I think guys need a little help from you ladies.
Well,
sometimes.
also, I mean, it's like when is a great time to, like, completely uproot your life and change everything about it? Like,
Yeah.
never. So I think if you kind of overthink it, it might pass you by. So, I mean, definitely probably a struggle in a lot of ways. I mean, how old are your kids now? Like,
29, 31.
yeah. Are they, like, are you a grandpa yet?
I'm not. They
You're
need
not?
to really get into dating. They're both like career freaks.
Yeah.
And my daughter's an artist in New York. My son's a screenwriter in L.A. And
Nice.
yeah, and they kind of pack date, you know, and they wind up with things, but they don't.
It hasn't, yeah.
Neither one of them seem very serious about being very serious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
But
good.
I wasn't either.
I mean, that's good though, and, like, obviously you should take your time, not force yourself. But yeah, I mean, like, the older that I get, and now being 30, I mean, these days you can wait longer. I feel like maybe give yourself more time to, like, be selfish and career oriented, and it feels
Easier
good.
for
But
us than for you. Easier for us than for you.
for what? Oh,
For waiting.
oh, for guys.
For kids.
I know.
We can wait as long as we want.
I know, that's so not fair. I was actually thinking about this the other day. It's kind of bullshit though, because we have a little, like, time limit on us, but you guys can, like, party on up into your,
Well, I
like.
guess there are surrogates and stuff. You can freeze things and stuff now.
You
but
can't. There are
Kind
a
of takes
lot
the
of
fun out of it.
there are a
though,
lot of
doesn't it?
ways. I mean, hopefully the end result is still.
Be your chance to
amazing,
eat all
but-
the cheese dip you want.
Oh, I'm already doing that anyway. I'm like, I can't even blame it on another human inside of me. It's like, nope, Nana made cheese dip, so
Well, congrats
Yeah.
on your new record.
thank you.
I'm still a fan and always pulling for you and always bragging on you.
Thanks,
so
man.
just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me.
Good to visit.
Yeah.